viewers of Metal Ops TV. Today we are with two members of the UK band FATES Messenger. And so I'm gonna let you introduce yourself and how are you guys?
Yeah, all good, thanks. I'm Ron, the guitarist from FATES Messenger.
Hi, I'm Paul. I'm also guitarist in FATES Messenger.
Okay, fantastic. So before to talk about your upcoming EP, which will be released in the end of August, can you go back to the creation of the band? How was the band born, please?
So FATES Messenger kind of started with Will and Tony, the vocalist, so the drummer and the vocalist. Above all, kind of started back up. So Above All's Tony's old band.
Okay.
They did a reunion show, and then Will joined them on drums. That kind of sort of faded out a bit. So Tony said to Will, like, look, if you do anything else musically, let me know, and I'll jump on board. So Will had been badgering me for, I've lost count of how many years he's been sending me messages, getting me to try and do stuff. But he was like, look, you've got music recorded, send me some stuff over. So I sent them a couple of tracks, and literally in the space of a couple of weeks, I had something back with drums written and like vocals recorded and stuff. So I was like, all right, so we're doing this then. And Will was basically said, why don't we get Paul involved? So Will gave Paul a shout and was like, look, you up for coming in on bass, which is kind of a bit different to the normality because you're normal guitar, aren't you, Paul? Like
normally, but
he thought he'd low down the low end.
Yeah, it's good just to be involved and just good to be playing music again. It'd been a while since I'd done anything as well, so it was it was good fun to sort of get back on it again.
Yeah, so obviously like Paul joined, and then it started to kind of spiral from that. We started recording tracks, sending them over the internet to each other, and kind of recording things like that because we're all spaced out. So I'm kind of southwest of the UK. Paul and Tony are down in Essex over the other side, and which is like southeast kind of area. And then Will's sort of in between, I guess. So yeah, it's kind of, we're all kind of scattered about. So to start off with, we were just literally like writing, sending stuff to each other. And then once we'd done that, got together and started gigging. So yeah, it's been good so far.
Okay, so I think you have a big experiences with other bands in the metallic hardcore scene, and so I would like to know what is your opinion, point of view on the evolution, the changes of the music scene, and especially in the metallic hardcore scene. Maybe it's more violent. I don't know.
No, I think I don't know. From our experience, when we were doing this before, I wouldn't say it was a lot easier. It just, I think booking shows, things like that it was a bit more organic. You could do things a lot easier. So things flowed a lot more. Even like before, you didn't have so much of the social media side of things, and I think that's consumed a lot now. So like now you spend more time dealing with social media, doing online marketing, bits like that, than you do actually playing your songs. So the music scene's kind of evolved in that way. But the shows that we have played and like the engagement we've had has been good. But yeah, I think with the introduction of social media and stuff like that, it has like stepped things up to becoming content creators as well as being musicians.
Okay. That I remember the scene in the last of the 20th century, and do you think the spirit of the hardcore scene is the same or so? Okay.
yeah, to be honest, the hardcore scene's kind of like, from a hardcore standpoint, is doing pretty well at the moment. Like, there's a lot of the newer bands that are coming out have got a lot of hardcore influence in them.
Yeah.
So although there's a lot of like low tune guitars and stuff like that, there's a lot of like beat downs. There's a lot of like, and I think something that Tony says a lot. He said like hardcore isn't necessarily the music; it's
Mm.
more about the scene, like the people, the kind of like the stuff that goes into it. Like, obviously, yeah, there is the genre of like hardcore music, but it's more about the people that are involved in it. So that is going strong, and like, even we've had some shows or like festivals that we've seen where like up and coming hardcore bands are playing in front of like a good couple of thousand people. So it's like, it is going strong like at the moment.
Okay, okay. Before to record the interview, we spoke about Stampin Ground.
Mhm.
What 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 is for you the what does this band represent for you? And I I have with me old photographies. It was in, I think, in 1999 when I was student at Kingston University.
Oh, cool. Amazing. Um, uh, well, at the moment, we're just sort of uh, celebrating the 25 years of Carved
Mm.
from Empty Words. Um, and yeah, just enjoying playing those songs again, which, you know, which none of us have played for 10 years, 20 years, maybe longer, some of us. And yeah, it's just it's it's great. I mean, obviously, I wasn't part of the band when the album came out. I didn't write any of it or record any of it. But it's I've known the guys a long time, and it's great to see there's still the appreciation for it this many years later, and it still stands up so well. So yeah, so it's yeah, it's good.
Right. Okay, fine, fine. Let's go back to your new EP. So the name is Eternal War. Will be released in the end of August, I think, on which the label is
Grey
uh,
Line Records.
yeah, fine. So what I'd like a word about the spirit of the EP. I mean, with title as Bleed Again, Doom Loop, etc. We have as like a dark or pessimistic spirit on the album, no?
Yeah,
Maybe I'm wrong.
it kind of captures where life is at the moment. So the opening track, Hellstorm, is about obviously like Hellstorm missiles falling from the sky, about war and greed, and how like the big wigs that sit at the top that earn all the big money can like constantly profit off of war and stuff like that. So there's always this drive to keep war going. Whereas, you know, we live in a time that everyone's got the power to stop those kind of things happening, but they won't because they want the money from it. And it kind of interlinks into like eternal war is like this constant war between good and evil, like heaven and hell, between like humanity. So it's all intertwined like that. The same with Doom Loop. It's we repeat the same cycles over and over again. Like we follow this path. We start the wars. We decimate these countries. We kill
Mm.
people, and then we don't learn from it, and we go and do it all over again. Um, so it's kind of like the concept is basically us kind of saying, like, you know, like we will keep repeating these same mistakes over and over again until someone does turn around and go, we've got to do something about this. And it kind of I don't know, it betrays how life is at the moment, I think.
Mm.
Right, you look at all the wars that are taking place, and even the stuff that like mainstream media only reports on some of like a fraction of the little things that are going on. There's so much more that we don't see that's taking place in other countries. You know, a lot of it, and there's so much devastation to all of these people that don't deserve it.
Okay, okay. You have two guests on the new EP. One of us is Tim Williams from Vision of Disorder. So can we have a word about this featuring?
Yeah, so that for me in particular, like it's a big thing having Tim on this track. I remember being 16 years old, so we're going back like a good 20 plus years. There was a music shop in Camden High Street called Metalheads, and I walked into Metalheads and they had the first Vision of Disorder album playing, and it literally took my head off. I was like, this dude's voice is so unique, and like the riffing is like amazing, and I literally put that album on repeat for probably about 2 months plus, and I absolutely rinsed it. Yeah, come 20 plus years down the line, we did a little bit of work with a bloke called Darren, and we just like passed in comment. We were talking about Vision of Disorder, and he was like, "Oh, I know Tim." I was like, "All right." Goes, I can send him a message and see if he'll guest on one of your tracks. And I was just like, "Yeah, all right." I'll believe it when I see it. I'll take it as a pinch of salt. Until getting a message from Tim Williams going, "Yes, I'm about to record your track." Like, cool. And I was just, what? And I think the rest of us, like all of the guys, were just like, "All right, we didn't expect this to actually like take place." But it was cool. Like, and it's it's awesome to say that we've got Tim on there, but B, from a nostalgic point of view, and from the fact of like, you know, like a lot of us have listened to Vision of Disorder, like the first album, Imprint, like going on. So they were genre like defying albums. Like they stood out so much back in that time. So now to say that we've got Tim on one of our tracks, like, yeah, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so amazing. And about this title, which is Eternal War, I read something on the net, a recent interview. It is said that this track wasn't created in a polished studio environment. It was a true DIY effort, recording in your homes. And I'd like to know if the other 5 titles were recorded in the same way or not.
Yeah, so the whole EP basically it's the same as we did with all of our original singles as well. So I'd kind of like come up with the bass line of the music, like program the drums using Superior Drummer, like I'd program the bass using Easy Bass or something like that, send it out to the guys. They'd all have a listen and kind of go, all right, maybe just tweak this bit a little bit here, change this bit here. Once that's done, then Tony would go, right, I'll write the lyrics. So he's got like a little summer house in his garden, so he'd go out there, record the vocals out in his summer house. Will's got like a little drum room that he records the drums in, and then we'd send it to like Paul sit in his spare room, like tracking the bass and then sending it back. So it's all been done in that DIY method. Like everything's done online, send it to each other. But the only difference with this EP is we then sent it to someone else to mix and master. So Stu McKay works at Studio 6. He did he's done like Descana, Ingested, one of the original Malevolence albums, and a few other bits. So we got Stu to do the mix on it, just to get another fresh pair of ears onto it, really, and just to kind of see if he'd put a different direction to the overall sound. And then Scott, who mastered it, so Scott's the original Stampin Ground guitarist, and he's got Grindstone Studios. So Scott's worked with like Silosis, Cradle of Filth, etc. And it kind of, we've worked with Scott before. So Scott did the Romeo Must Die album. We helped him build his studio as part payment towards recording the album with him. And it kind of keeps it all linked, you know, with like Paul doing like the guitar for Stampin Ground. Scott was the Stampin Ground guitarist, or still is technically, like, do you know what I mean? And it kind of, it's all interlinked, and it feels good kind of keeping it in the family. so to speak.
Yeah, okay, very good. About I think we have a very big performance of Tony Maddox on the EP, and so I'd like to know about the lyrics. If all the lyrics are coming from him, or yeah, and so
Yeah.
the band is agreed with all the lyrics, or you have to you can have a word about or no?
We just let him run free. Like, in all honesty, like I don't think I've ever worked with a vocalist that's ever churned vocals out that quickly. Like, I don't know about you, Paul, with people that you've worked with in the past. I know when we worked with Adam took months to to write lyrics to stuff.
Tony does work very quickly. I mean,
Okay.
we sometimes discuss the concept when we get together at rehearsal and that sort of thing. But yeah, all the words they all come from Tony, and very rapidly.
Yeah, right. Literally, he'll have something written within 2 weeks, if that, and then he'll have it recorded within another week after that. And I think like the only thing that we kind of get involved with sometimes is maybe like the pattern delivery. So he'll have all the lyrics written, and then we'll kind of listen to it and go like, oh, maybe like change the delivery slightly so it's a bit more hooky in this area, or kind of maybe like drop a word out. But other than that, like, yeah, he's full creative reign on the lyrics.
Okay, fine. Okay, guys. I'm gonna finish this interview with a little word about a legend. And you as UK musicians, but also UK people, we had a big loss with the death of Ozzy Osbourne. So what does your spirit about that? What does represent this?
Yeah, it's a big thing. Like, I don't know, Paul, you got a take on it?
Yeah, it's I think we've all been listening to Ozzy for as long as we can remember. Certainly, I remember sort of listening to badly copied cassettes of Blizzard of Oz when I was at school, and seen him live. I think I went to see him on my 19th birthday in Ipswich, and that's a long time ago. So yeah, he's always been present, and yes, it's a massive loss. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I let you have the last word. Sorry. And are you gonna come to play in France? I don't know that.
We'd love to.
We'd love to.
Yeah, we're gonna. So we've played previously in the Netherlands. We've done Belgium. I think this was with Romeo, and then you guys played in Athens as well, if I recall.
With Stampin Ground, we played did a few in Greece. Yeah.
So I think for FATES, like we'd love to kind of branch out. I think obviously with the whole removal of UK from the EU, which was a stupid idea, but I think with that it kind of makes it a little bit harder for like touring musicians to play over in European countries. I think they're a little bit stricter on it now. But yeah, most definitely, if we can find some promoters over there that are interested in putting us on, then because we can just get a ferry across and come and play. It's not an issue at all, really.
Okay, so I give you the last word. It was a big honor to have you for this interview. So a big thanks.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it, and thank you very much for having us on. And hopefully you enjoyed the EP. So
yeah. I love it. In my
that's awesome. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Yeah, and thanks very much for having us on, mate.
Thanks to you. So see you guys, and take care.
Nice one. Cheers, man. Thank you.
Bye bye.